Hello, Reverend Mike here, and I'm going to talk about cancer today, like I normally do, but from a different perspective. I'm going to talk about a distraction that may be very helpful to you to consider. It has to do with horse circles. What is a horse circle, you may wonder? Well, a horse circle is a program offered by an equine center of one kind or another who has facilitators and handlers for horses and allows the visitors, the participants, to sit in a circle with horses and interact with horses. The goal is healing. We all need healing, whether we're sick, healthy, or whether we have cancer. So I'd like you to consider if this might be appropriate for you. So I want to tell you about my experiences. I went to the first one, and I listened to the talk, and then the lady explained what she would like us to understand and how to be safe around the animals and things like that. And then we went out in the field and we sat in a circle, every 8 or 10 or 12 feet apart, and there's horses interacting with people and moving around through that circle. And I was a little anxious for the first time, like I am many times when something is new. And so I had no expectations, and I noticed that the horses were moving around other people, and no horse was coming near me. And of course, I was wondering about that, was wondering about whether it was me or whether it was the horses or what was up. So, but anyhow, lo and behold, near the end of the session, this little cat came along, and the cat climbed up on me, climbed up on my pants, and sat and kind of visited with me for a while. Now, I don't particularly like cats, but I found this interesting, and so I went along with it, and I just stayed joyful and saw how things unfolded. At the end, I went along inside with the other participants, and I commented to the group that I noticed at the end that the horses were standing like behind us all, like behind the circle, but very close by, as if to say that they had our back. And I noticed that very precisely, and it was a good kind of feeling to notice. So anyhow, I left at the end and went home and pondered the experience. Decided to go back and see if I didn't miss something the first time. And the second time was profoundly different in that it wasn't the first couple minutes of the session. There was this snort behind me, and I could feel horse breath blowing down the back of my neck, which caught me off guard. And then, lo and behold, within a minute, there was another horse on the other side of me, and it's just kind of not doing anything except just touching me briefly with his head or her head, whoever. And I found that I was surrounded with the two horses. And the facilitator actually took a picture of this, and it was quite comical to see the picture, and it was quite joyful. And so this one went for a couple minutes, and then the horses left, and they went to other people, and then they came back off and on throughout the session. When the session was over, it was really kind of neat, because the time with the horses was very unusual emotionally for me, and I really felt like I was connecting with them, and they were connecting with me, and it was really a pleasant, harmonious experience. So later I went back a third time, and the third time was pretty nice. There was a horse that came along right early on to me, and there was horses coming along to almost everybody. But there was one particular lady who had this wonderful exchange, and everybody was watching it. And she was there, and her head and the horse's head were together, and it was like a mind meld. You could just see that they were one. They were unified. They were peaceful, and it was sweet to see. So anyhow, after that, everybody was joyful, and we went on. I asked the lady if I could get a copy of the picture that was taken, and if I was to write a book later, if I could publish it, and she agreed. And so went home again, and lo and behold, a couple more weeks, I was back there again for another one. And the fourth one was very interesting because I had a water bottle with in a carrier, and I had it under my chair, and the horse came over and wanted to play with it, and so the horse was grabbing it with his snout and moved it a little bit and then pushed it a little bit. Next thing I know, the horse picks it up in its mouth. So I didn't want the horse to go away with my water bottle, so I kind of gave it a little tug, and the horse kind of resisted, and we tugged and back and forth. And I wasn't resisting aggressively, and nor was the horse pushing aggressively. It was just kind of like a little tug of war that you would have somebody you were playing with. Then all of a sudden, the horse let the water bottle go, and I almost fell out of my chair. It was kind of neat. So anyhow, the session ended, and it was really kind of wonderful. Reflecting on the whole 4 times that I'd been there gave me a sense of peace and connectivity that I really thought would be neat for cancer patients. It was neat for me, and I thought that it would be neat for them, but I also thought it would be neat for a family type of outing experience, because cancer patients, as they lose energy and what have you, can get kind of sedentary, and that is not necessarily helpful, and may not be good for their relationships with family, because of the fact that when someone is not interactive, people have a tendency to settle down and to not be as stimulating to them as they would normally be. And so the interaction between family members might be less. And that may not be helpful, because when you're faced with something, you want more stimulation, more interaction, more support. And I thought that a horse circle might be a good thing for families to do together. So I would encourage you to think about that for anyone who it would be appropriate for. And I really think that the circle would be good for not only the family member who is ill, but for the whole family, because there's something about being interactive in someone's life that is so family oriented, so satisfying, and so peaceful and grounding and loving and caring. So anyhow, that's my experience with the horse circles. I enjoyed it. I recommend it. I wrote a book about it called Cancer Glue for Healing You, my horse circle experience. And it's like all my books that I write, I give away free on Kindle, and Kindle allows me to give away free 5 days out of every 90. And I've written 75 books, so I have a lot of books that I can share. And I arrange the schedule so that there's always something on Kindle that's free for me. And 15 days out of every 30, there's cancer books on there. Usually the 1st to the 5th, and the 11th through the 15th, and the 21st through the 25th. All you need to do is go to the angelraphaelspeaks.com and go to the Healing Presence tab and find a book on there that you'd like to download, and then click on the URL that's shown there and download it into your Kindle if you have one. If you don't have a Kindle, you can go ahead and download an app from Amazon.com that would be Kindle for PC or Kindle for Mac, depending upon the operating system that you're using. And then you could download the free Kindles into those apps. Just make sure that it's 0.00 shows up when you click on the link on Kindle, and then you can download it. So that's my story. I'll put all the particulars about how to do that in the notes below this. And I'll try to hold up the copy of the book at the end so that you can see what the book looks like. Then you see the picture of me with a horse behind me supporting me. And anyhow, that's the story, and I recommend that you consider it. And may God bless you and keep you forever and ever. Amen. And here's my little book, Cancer, Glue for Healing You, My Horse Circle Experience. And there's a picture of the horse, and that's a picture of me right there on the cover. So God bless you all. Have a great day. Take it easy. Bye for now.